Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is kind of my contribution. I thought that I wanted to say something about today's let's basically uh, talk and save net neutrality. It's a special day today. You might see different websites that actually have a pop-up that asks you to fill out a little form to, just to give your support to net neutrality. I actually found this a little urgent message that I thought was really interesting. So, of course, today is a day of protestation on the internet. Up to what point it will have an effect, it's hard to say. One of the things that is actually interesting, at least with the protest going on, is that it's actually kind of talking about an aspect of the internet that people know very little about. We don't really know how the internet works in general. Most people just don't think further than you got that little Google thing where you search and that's pretty much it. But one of the things that is important is net neutrality, and net neutrality is in danger in many places. There are already places around the planet that have problems with it. In the United States, it is in really, really grave danger. It's something that we got to take time, and we got to try to really prevent the breakup of net neutrality. So to explain net neutrality in an easy way, what I would like to say is you need, first of all, to basically understand that net neutrality is something that actually means that everything, all the content over the internet is equal. Net neutrality means a website, big or small, is treated the same. Net neutrality means that the internet service providers cannot charge more for something than for something else. Net neutrality makes sure that basically the internet is as free as possible. What's happening, of course, this day of protest is mostly due to the fact that the FCC in the United States wants to break net neutrality, which means that, for example, you might actually go on a internet service provider and they might start saying, hey, this is our basic internet at $29.95, but if you want to have YouTube and Netflix, you'll have to pay $10 extra. Net neutrality means that could happen. Net neutrality can also impact the websites themselves. For example, net neutrality could have an impact on what I do, simply because if internet service providers want to have you pay extra for something, you might actually not want to pay the extra, meaning viewers of what I do might be less in quantity because of that. It impacts also a lot the newcomers. For example, one of the things that could happen is, say that you've got a great idea, business idea of some kind of online video sharing site that would be totally radically different from what we have right now. And you say, well, that's a good idea, but the problem is the internet service providers might start saying, oh, well, video takes a lot of bandwidth and you'll have to pay extra for us to actually have your website or your service shown on the internet. So you see how complex it can be. It will become unequal. It will become very, very sad, because in a way, some websites will be pushed away because they don't have the money to pay extra fees. You will maybe have less content of some sort because you don't want to pay that extra fee, and it pushes internet service providers to do really, really bad things, and that is the biggest problem. So net neutrality needs to stay. We've kind of taken for granted net neutrality over the years because we don't really understand it, and we don't for a long time there was really not much in that way that would be a problem. So basically, for years we never thought about net neutrality because everything was pretty much neutral. But now, as we're moving ahead, and as the FCC might want to change that. So what I'm asking you, if you're a viewer from the United States, you should totally contact, your congressman, or voice your mind, answer. If you go on websites where they ask you to enter your name and sign the petition for net neutrality, please do so. If you're outside the United States, of course, you will maybe see that. You can try to fill it out if you want, but I'm not sure if it works from outside. But that doesn't mean you can't do anything, because one of the things you got to understand is that, yeah, in the United States there's a danger, but here also, every country in the world has a danger of losing net neutrality at some point. And we got to understand that we need to keep that. It is something that is good for everybody. It's sad to see that all these lawmakers and all these people are trying to tell you that net neutrality is no good for you, when in reality it is one of the best things that can be good for you. But unfortunately, they're trying to lure you into thinking, well, net neutrality isn't good for everyone. No, it is good for everybody, including the internet service providers. I mean, I would not like to want something that would tell me, oh, well, by the way, starting next month, if you want to see YouTube videos, you'll have to pay extra because it takes too much bandwidth. That would be really bad. So just, do something. Try to voice your mind, and remember that, the people have a lot of power. They can change things. And that's what you got to do. But to have this happen, you have to do it. You have to take the time to do it. And it doesn't take that much time to do it. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and thank you for watching our videos. And let's support net neutrality.